Elton and Musa from Singapore, and today we will be sharing about our project, CS50 Pharmacy. So, we developed this web application in hopes of improving medication adherence for patients with chronic diseases, and also to help doctors keep track of their prescription records in real time. This is our home page, and as you can see, there are two login pages, one for doctors and one for patients. So we'll start our demonstration by registering for a doctor's account under the name Dr. Ash Ma. For doctors, they will need an additional field, the clinical ID, in order for their registration to be considered successful. So once we are done with registration, we can log in and enter the index page. Here you can see that we have a few functions: info search, prescribe, and history. So let's start with info search. Info search is a database that will allow the doctors to search for information about drugs used in the hospital's formulary. So they will be able to access information such as the recommended dose and indications for the drug. So for example, if we enter metformin here, we can find the related information to help the doctor make a better and more accurate prescription. So take a look at this results page. You can see that the recommended dose of metformin is 850 milligrams once a day or 500 milligrams twice a day. And some side effects may include hypoglycemia. Right, so moving on to the prescribe function. This is a function that allows the doctors to store a record of their prescriptions. So this information will be stored in a SQL database named records, and patients and physicians can later access the relevant information from this table using a different set of SQL queries. So here, we are going to demonstrate Dr. Ash Ma prescribing medications for two patients, John Lee and Tan Akau. So for John Lee in this case, he has diabetes. So Dr. Ash is giving him 28 metformin 500 milligram tablets to be taken twice a day. Okay, so entering this will redirect us to history, which reflects the past prescriptions by the current doctor, in this case Dr. Ash. Alright, so now that we see this, we'll go back to prescribe, where Dr. Ash will now prescribe 14 sildenafil 50 milligram tablets to be taken once a day for Mr. Tan Akau's erectile dysfunction. Alright, click enter, and now we will be redirected to the history page again, this time with the prescription and time of submission for Mr. Tan Akau's medication updated. Next, we will be showing you how things look like from the point of view of John and Mr. Tan.
For the patients, they will be able to register for their own account and log in from the main page here. We will first log into John Lee's account. After logging in, we will see the main homepage for patients. There are three buttons: Home, My Health Records, and Log Out. The patient's name will also be displayed at the top, which in this case is John Lee. Let's go to John Lee's health records. As we know, Dr. Ash Ma has prescribed metformin 500 milligrams twice a day for John Lee today. This is reflected in John Lee's list of medications here. Oh, and we can see that Dr. Obama has prescribed amlodipine 10 milligrams twice a day for John Lee yesterday. This page is useful for patients to see which doctor prescribed their medications to them, and the patient can ask the doctor questions if they are unsure how to take their medications. We will now log out of John Lee's account. We are back to the main page for CS50 Pharmacy. We will log into Tan Akau's account now. After logging in, we can see that the homepage for Tan Akau's account is very similar to John Lee's account. There is the button to access the patient's health records here too. We can also see that the patient's name has changed to Tan Akau. Let's now enter Tan Akau's health records. Tanaka only has one medication prescribed to him. It is sildenafil 50 milligrams once a day, and it is prescribed to him today by Dr. Ashma. The great thing about this program is Tanaka is only able to see his medication records and not other patients' records. So he will not be able to see Dr. Lee's records. This will ensure the privacy of sensitive medical information of patients. So that's it for our application. We hope that this application will be useful for doctors and patients alike to use a more integrated and simplified platform to track dispensing and viewing medication records. Thank you so much for watching, and this is CS50 Pharmacy.